Hey everybody, welcome to yet another episode of Back to the Light. I am JD Reager, and with me for this episode is comedian Mo Alexander. Mo.
What's up, my brother?
Hey man, thank you for taking the time coming over to meet me here at Shangri-La.
Hey man, thank you for having me on this show. And I haven't been in Shangri-La in years. I'm just like so freaked out. I'm like, oh my God, I just want to go dive into a record bin. Just like see what I can get that I don't have. I'm sure there's a Prince album here that I don't have somewhere.
Oh yeah, probably. We've got some on the wall that are high dollar.
Oh.
So you just had some shows on the road, didn't you?
Always, man. Where was I last week?
Like Pensacola, didn't you say?
Yes, Pensacola. Pensacola was last Friday night. I did Fort Walton that Saturday night. The week before that, I think I was in Indianapolis and somewhere else around there. I'm always somewhere. This is like one of the few weeks I'm off.
So,
Rare.
I mean, how many do you mainly do, like weekends like that and then come home, or do you stay out for long stretches?
I stay out for months. It's like usually what we do in July is I leave the city of Memphis because I don't like, my thighs to sweat. And I go to Denver, Colorado for like a month. I mean, seriously. I think last year we did most of July and August, and I think we came back in like the last week of August or first week of September from Colorado and that whole little thing. So we do Colorado and the entire state, and then like on the way back you'll hit like somewhere in Nebraska or something and come home. You know,
there aren't a lot of touring comedians from Memphis that I'm aware of anyway.
There's a couple.
There's a few.
There's not too many, yeah. There's not too many. I mean, because... Well, the good ones are on the road. That's all I'm going to say about that. That sounds mean, but no. Like there's Tony Tone, myself. Lester Bibbs is originally from here, but I'm not sure. I think he lives in Atlanta now. But he's on the road constantly. That's it, pretty much.
Is that because there's just not a...
Jill Maragos. She moved here. She's not from here, but she moved here. But she's on the road touring constantly, too.
Do you think that's because is there not a big enough scene to have a whole bunch of touring comedians in Memphis, or is it because most comedians just stay home?
Do you really want me to answer these questions to get me in trouble?
No, I mean, I don't want you to throw anyone under the bus, but as like a musician, I'm aware of how things work on the music side, mm-hmm. But I'm very fascinated by what the comedy scene is like.
Comedy is, you have to be funny and you have to be consistent, and I'm going to say this and get in trouble because most of them hate me anyway.
I don't think that most of the comedians I know look up to you.
Yeah, but then there's the next generation who all hate me because they were like, there's a whole thing. Comedy's weird. It all clicks and everything, but it's just like comedy's basically a lot of these people never want to get past their little open mics. They're happy with doing open mics, and I was never happy with doing that. I'm like, I can do the same 5 minutes for 6 years like I've seen some people do, but, I have some old material I'm trying to get rid of right now. I'm trying to write stuff, but I see these guys and they never want to progress past 6 minutes because it's all a game. For me, it's never a game. I love doing comedy. It's a profession. I always promise myself when it becomes a job, I have to quit because nobody likes their job, and that's not fun. So I just enjoy myself whatever I do. Every time I'm on stage, it's just a new experience. I know what I kind of want to do, but who knows what's going to happen. But in Memphis, I love the comedy scene. I mean, it used to be a lot better when, like Katrina Coleman and everything started the Memphis Comedy Festival, and it was really cool for a little while.
Yeah, I went to a bunch of them.
Yeah, they were great. They were great shows. They were great people. They brought some great talent in. They had Baron Vaughn open. Here one time, and I was just like, me and Baron got together. He's stupid. I love him so much. But they bring in some good people. But Memphis is one of these cities that, since it's not a prepaid ticket city, you know what I mean? Memphis is more of a...
It's a walk-up town,
It's a walk-up town. It's really hard for big names to come through here and play shows because it's a walk-up town. They need those pre-sales to come through and like, hey, why aren't we getting... Why isn't it like, I know Hannibal comes through every now and then and does something because he got family down south and up here, so he just comes through and hang out. But a lot of the other major people just go straight to Nashville and bypass us, which kind of sucks, but... I like Memphis. It's my home. I'm always going to hang out here. There's Jack Purtles. I'm good.
So, you're from Memphis originally?
Yeah, born and raised.
Where'd you go to high school?
Memphis Catholic.
Really?
Yeah.
What year did you graduate?
Don't ask me that.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out if you were older than me or if I'm older than you.
Okay, let's ask you this question. When did you graduate?
97.
I'm older than you.
Okay.
Well, you would have been with Catholic too?
No.
Oh, okay.
I went to Harding. I went to a Christian
good
school.
God. No, you did not go to Harding.
I did.
You went to Harding. Oh, my God. We
Harding
hated y'all so
Academy.
much.
I'm still untangling all the webs of sadness that,
I don't doubt
that
it.
were fostered in those hallowed halls.
I do not doubt that at all. We had
I mean, I'm sure you have your own special brand of Catholic damage too.
Oh, why do you think I'm a comic? Come on.
Well, why do you think I'm a musician?
Exactly. That makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what was the comedy scene like when you started?
Ooh, Jesus! There was oh my God! When I started, it was so much fun.
Was the Comedy Zone around when you started?
That's where I started.
Okay,
that's exactly where I started.
That's what I was thinking.
That was the old Comedy Zone. Is where I started.
Eric can attest. I was asking him if he remembered the Comedy Zone.
Well, the Comedy Zone it was weird because the Comedy Zone was at what became that. What's the corner of Madison and Cooper right now?
Oh, the chain place.
Yeah, whatever that place is,
Yeah.
that was the original Comedy Zone. And then they closed down because of some political bull BS. And then the Looney Bin came in like a year later
That's
and took
right.
over the same exact space. And when they came to town, they were just like, we don't know who you are, Mo. And I'm just like, all right, I'm just going to sit here and drink with all my comedy friends because they wouldn't headline me because they didn't know me. And I'm just like, all right, that's cool. I'm just going to sit here. Hey, Ron, how you doing? Hey, let's do this. Hey, Harlan, how you doing? All these people come through. It's like, Mo, what are you doing here? You're not working tonight? No, I'm just drinking. Let's have some drink. And we do that. And then one night they had the headliner couldn't show up, and they called me, Mo, could you come in and headline? Sure, why not? What are you paying me? And I came in and destroyed that room, and they're just like, oh my God, you really are funny. We just thought you were a local psychopath. Yeah, whatever. How would I know all these comics that came through? So, but when I first started, it was the Comedy Zone right there, and over near Hickory Ridge, there was a place called the Laugh Factory was over there. So on Thursday nights, you go do the open mic over there at the Laugh Factory, watch the show, run over to the Comedy Zone because they did their open mic after the show. So you could go watch part of that, drive over, get back here. And then on Friday and Saturday nights, there's a black club downtown in Court Square in the basement of a building that was called Aunt Esther's Comedy Club. So we would do that too. And I was like a little cast member of that little gang of weirdos down there. So.
Was Dennis Philippi around a lot back in those days?
Philippi's the man who taught me how to take everyday things and make them stupid.
Really?
Yes, Philippi. I will give Dennis Philippi the credit for. He was the house MC at the Comedy Zone.
I grew up knowing him as Joe
Cool. Yeah,
Joe
we all
Cool.
gave him hell for that. We always just like, what up, Cool? He's like, shut up. And he couldn't ever do anything too bad to us because of the Joe Cool thing.
Yeah.
But every now and then he'd pull us around and say, like, you motherfucker. Like, yeah.
Is he still around?
Yes, he's still around. He is still around, and he still lives in town. And I can't tell you where. But I do know where. But yeah, he's still a Midtowner.
I'd love to talk to him.
I'll give you the number.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
But hey, back to you.
Yeah.
So, Philippi was kind of a mentor to you?
Definitely. I have no problem ever saying that about him. He taught Dennis Philippi has the ability. Well, most comics can do it now, but he was the one who taught me just to walk on stage with whatever happened that day and find the funny in it. And he's the one who taught me that, and that's how come I can talk about anything that happened. Like over Thanksgiving this past week, I have a brand new story that I'm still working out, but the first 3 times I've told it on stage, it's killed, but it's not finished yet. It's just like me taking a Valium on Thanksgiving and then having to use a bidet. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. Right there. Those things right there are hilarious. Just saying those 3 things there.
Yeah.
But
Valium,
the whole story,
Thanksgiving, bidet.
Thanksgiving, I call the story Turkey Day Bidet. That's what I call it right there, Turkey Day Bidet. And it's absolutely true, and it's so stupid because, yeah, okay. But, yeah, Dennis Philippi, huge. The first time I did open mic at the Comedy Zone, I had a great set because I had actually written it out. The second time, like most comics, I sucked. The third time, I was funny again. And that was the night Dennis was like, am I going to have to remember who you are? I'm like, pretty much. I'm pretty much here now. And I was there almost every day till they ended the place.
And then when did Comedy Tennessee came around.
Comedy Tennessee, yeah.
Was there anything in between there that I'm forgetting?
Oh, I'm trying to remember myself because that was a little.
I went to a bunch of shows at Comedy Tennessee.
Before Comedy Tennessee, there was because that's after I kind of left. I kind of left in between, and I was really on the road and kind of weird. I was pretty much gone like 30 weeks out of the year, so I don't even know when Comedy Tennessee opened up because that was Sammy Martin and another guy opening up Comedy Tennessee out wherever the hell it was. I don't think there was anything between those two.
Yeah. Why do you think that there's been so few comedy clubs in town, and it always seems like it's a struggle to keep them alive?
Let me tell you why most of the comedy clubs have closed in this town. It's always political. It's always some backdoor. It's not because they're not successful. It's because there's always some BS in the background that y'all don't know about. Yeah. That's what happened to the Comedy Zone. I still can't talk about that, but there was some serious BS in the Comedy Zone. And and the owner of that place was like, when it happened, they're like, either you can stop doing what you're doing on this night, or we can just cut in your contract. And he was like, well, kiss my black ass. And he's a little white dude. Kiss my black ass, and we out. And we did 7 shows with D.L. Hughley, and that last night we were like, peace, we out.
Damn. Mm-hmm. Well, going back to you specifically, like, how do you go from doing local shows to becoming a touring working comedian? Like, how do you cross that bridge?
You have to go on the road and suffer for a few months. Seriously, that's what it is. You're a musician. You've toured.
I have punk rock toured. I've slept in vans and on floors.
I have slept in. I have slept in bus stations. I have slept in airports. I have slept in cars. I have eaten ketchup packets. You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, because when you first go out on the road, back in the day when I first started, there was a little chain of comedy clubs in the Southeast called Comedy House Theaters, and I got in with them early. I mean, not early on. I got in with them, and I was like emceeing for 2 weeks at a time at each of their clubs. Do you get in like on a recommendation, or do you have to like put together a promo packet and submit it? Like, yes, on both of those. Let me tell you, yeah, seriously. The owner of the club knew that guy, and he also knew Bruce at the Stardome. So he was like, he's one of my boys. I tell you, he's funny. Book him. And so, they both gave me shots, and I did. I was not the house MC, but I MC'd when I first started touring out with these guys, and just had to move up. You had to be funny enough to be impressive, and it's such crap out there. I mean, it was such crap because it was like one of my favorite weeks ever in comedy when I was starting out it was me and this chick named Lori Kilmartin. I was the MC, she was the feature, and then there was a piece of shit headliner. Just a piece of shit New York comic headliner. Just a hacky piece of shit. I'm not going to lie to you, just hacky. And me and her bonded immediately because we wanted to try new stuff every night.
I know that name.
Yeah, Lori Kilmartin is brilliant. She's one of the most brilliant comics on the planet. Love her to death. I wrote an entire article about how she saved my career because that was like I had been on the road for 6 or 7 weeks straight, and nobody wrote anything. Nobody even wanted. They were happy with their act. They just wanted to go and drink and pick up chicks afterwards. I'm like, I need to write something. I'm bored. And I met her, and the next night she did something new. I'm like, oh my God, you're doing new stuff. I was like, yeah, let's do that. And the third night we were together, because back then it was like Tuesday through Sunday shows. Yeah. And we pissed the headliner off so much because he was like, you're not doing the same material. How am I supposed to follow what you guys are doing? How am I supposed to know? That's your problem, dude. Because he was just a dick to us anyway. So we just wrote and did new material all week. Is that usually a concern when you're staging a show? Like, does the headliner do, material based on what the opening person does? Not if you're a good comic, you're not. Yeah, it's like, is that a normal practice? I tell any comic, I don't care what you do in front of me. It's not going to affect me. I'm doing my show. Yeah. I mean, there's several comics out there. There's several people, lots of comics. Lots. I won't say that. There's lots of bigger name comics who would be like, you'll work with, and they'll be like, don't talk about this, don't talk about that, because that's what I'm talking about tonight. I'm like, well, it shouldn't matter if I'm not the closing act. I can talk about what I want to, and you should be able to follow anything I do because that's the way I was brought up. And I mean, surely your take is not going to be the same as... The only time I've come across somebody with the same take, and it's a recent thing, And I'm still trying to figure out what exactly happened with that, because me and Chappelle have the same exact line about something. And I mean the exact same line.
What's the line? If you don't want to do it, it's fine.
No, I can't do the line. It's gonna get me. Well, okay.
It's fine.
The line is this, because I talk about how I'm not. There's too much hate on this planet about the transgender people and all that stuff. And I have transgender friends. I'm not trying to get anybody to hate me. I saw what happened to Dave Chappelle. And the line is, Dave Chappelle pissed the trans community off so much that somebody actually ran up on stage and tried to stab him with a knife that was disguised as a gun. Do you know how much a group of people have to hate you to try to kill you with a weapon that identifies as another weapon? Yeah. And see my yeah. And let me tell you right now. So a friend of mine opens for Chappelle. And when we went to go see Chappelle in Nashville a couple months ago, I saw him drop that line, and my heart just sank. Because I'm like, everybody's going to think I stole that line from him, and I did not. I wrote that as soon as I heard what happened. I have tape from September of last year when it happened. I have a videotape from me at the Comedy Works in Denver, like 2 or 3 days. Whenever it happened, I have that tape.
Are comedians really sensitive to that?
Yes, because...
I mean, I remember there was all the uproar over Carlos Mencia.
Carlos Mencia can eat my ass, okay? Carlos Mencia can eat my ass, and not.
I never liked him, even when people. I thought he was.
I've had to work with him once, and I got accused of stealing.
He accused you of stealing?
No, an audience member did. An audience member accused me of stealing a joke from him. Oh. And I almost blew up and just punched this person in the face.
I can see you your fists are coming out right now.
You don't understand that that's something that hurt me, man. That's something that hurt me. He was like, "Hey, man, you stole that joke from Mencia," and I'm just like rearing up like and the manager of the club says, "Hey, no, dude, Carlos stole that from Mo. And he was just like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, he Mo. That's
he's like the poster child for joke thieves."
Yeah, he is. At least when Robin Williams would steal jokes, he would. If you told him he stole your joke, he'd pay you for it, because he would do that, because he was on so much. What was his line? That he was on everything except roller skates. That was his line, yeah. Because he would honestly go and just watch other comics, and he was just so messed up in his head, he didn't know where he saw something, he'd just take it. And yeah, that happened a lot.
And the way he does his is just like stream of conscious, yes, like whatever's in there just comes out.
Exactly. And I'm just like, yeah. But Carlos stole the line, and it was a stupid line he stole. But it was back in the day when I first started, there was a show on HBO called Snaps. And I had written a bunch of Yo Mama jokes for that show. And
I remember that show.
Yeah, and I kept several for myself because they're stupid. But the one that Carlos tried to steal from me and did on stage was, Yo Mama's so nasty, the last time she went to the doctor, the crabs asked how to get rid of her. Now, that's the only part he stole of that joke, because that joke goes longer than that, because it's like, see, y'all don't want to laugh at that, but you're going to try to fuck it up. You're going to be fucking up at the water cooler Monday morning telling your friends, your mama's a nasty bitch with red lobster coupons. No, that wasn't it. Your mama's pussy's known as the deadliest catch. Know what it is. Her vagina's known as cheddar bay. Fuck, I can't do it. The black man did it so hilariously last night. But yeah, yeah. So, yeah, I don't want to be...
It really works with the tag.
Thank you. See, that's how the joke is supposed to go. He just did the bird to one line. If someone... I'm like, you mother... So, next time I saw Carlos, like a couple, like maybe 5 years later, and he said, "Well, I know you, man. You know me. I don't want to tell you. Well, you want to go up? No, I don't want you to see anything I'm doing right now. No, I'll punch you in the face."
I remember once I was in a band that was kind of a country rock band, and it was right along the same time that Lucero had just started up.
Yeah.
And one of the guitar players of Lucero, word got back to me that he had said something like, we were trying to copy them. And,
wow.
Yeah, it hurt.
Yeah, it does hurt.
It hurt.
I mean, these jokes are my babies. It's like, I write, when something comes out of me that I want to keep, writing a throwaway joke is easy. That's what people don't understand. They're like, when your new album will come out? I don't know when it comes out, because I can write throwaway stuff all day long and just throw it out. But stuff that I want to keep, that's the hook right there. What I want to keep, what I love, what I want to keep everybody here. Like this Turkey Day Bidet, I don't know how long that's gonna last. I love it though. I love that joke right now because it's just that's all. I mean, it might end up on the next album, Turkey Day Bidet, because volume and a bidet.
That might be a good episode title too. I think we've said it so much.
Okay, do it. I like it. I like it. But yeah, we don't stealing jokes is bad. I mean, you see crappy hack ass comics doing it. It's like, oh, he's doing a street joke. He's close to a street joke. Whatever. We don't want to talk to you. I don't ever want to be that. I always want to come out with my own. Even though I might be doing an older bit, it's all from my head. It's all from my mind. It's all something that I've experienced or can talk about reality wise. I tell everybody, 99% of my act is 100% true. That other 1% is fucking weird. Sorry, I keep cursing. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It doesn't matter.
Okay.
Curse away.
Oh, okay.
It's interesting to me just because it seems like comics are very, very not only sensitive to the joke stealing, but they're also very, very. I don't know what the word is, but like, you know, rock bands close with cover songs all the time. Mm-hmm. That seems like closing with a street joke is kind of not dissimilar. Comics are very judgmental. That's what I was. Yeah.
We can't. Well, we don't. I want you. Why would I? I don't want to hear. I don't want to hear greatest hits of 13 other comics, which I don't want to say his name, Screech. But one night I had to work with that guy once, and they were like, "He's such a nice guy." Okay, no, you didn't know him like I did.
Where was this?
This was in Tunica. Oh, I forgot about that. The Tunica had clubs. Remember that?
Oh, gosh. Tunica used to be kind of a hot spot for a while. It did.
Tunica had a couple clubs. Tunica had this one place called Bonkers down there, and I got bumped one week from headlining because.
Were those in the casinos or were they separate?
It was in the. It was. Did you ever go to Bally's down there?
I think maybe once.
It was the country one. It was the country west. It had the big silo. They had the club inside the silo right next door to the buffet. I
definitely went to the horseshoe. My grandmother liked the horseshoe.
Yeah, I loved the horseshoe. Great blackjack rules. But it was inside the casino. It wasn't inside the actual casino. It's just like you walk in the building, comedy club, silo right there, buffet, casino. So it's right there.
What is a casino audience like?
You know what? It depends on where you are. Yeah. I will tell you that right now. It depends on where you are. I've had casino audiences. It depends on how serious they are. Like if the club is enclosed, it's going to be a decent show. It's going to be a decent show most of the time. If it's just their slot machines, rows of slot machines right there, you laugh. You laugh. But this is how it goes. You're talking about the old Comedy Zone. The Sheraton down in Tunica. When they had that there, there was Sheraton, Horseshoe, the big one.
Gold Strike.
That's it. Sheraton had a satellite Comedy Zone inside of it that was run by the same people who ran the one where I started. And oh my God, okay? So it was just like an open lounge. And you've been in the middle of a joke and suddenly you hear, slot machine, slot machine, slot machine, I won! Ah! And you're just like, oh God.
Well, they do bands like that in some of those stages too.
Bands, you can go along. You can just hum along with the music, but like, boo-ba-doo-boo, I won a jackpot. But comedy is just like two people walk in the bar, jackpot! Can't get the energy back now. Yeah.
In that situation, I mean, how hard is it to stay on track?
You just suffer. You just suffer for that. You just know. They tell you, oh, this is going to be a hell gig. Just suffer, get your check, get your room, get your free buffet, get the hell out of there. That's all you do. That's all you do. Because you can't do anything. You can't do anything when you got 9 people in a room that seats 200 and there's slot machines just lining the back gate and they don't care that you're in there. They're just there. You're just there because they've lost most of their money and they're waiting for midnight so they can hit their ATM again. That's all they're doing.
Are there many casino comedy clubs left on the circuit?
Oh, lots of them.
Yeah?
Lots of them, yeah. Yeah, I just did one in Louisiana a few months ago, yeah. And what was Baton Rouge, Louisiana, yeah.
Okay.
One down there. Yeah, there are a bunch of them. I mean, you go to Vegas, I mean, they're all over the place. They're all over the place. The Indian casinos have them, and some of them are great, some of them are horrible. Some of them are horrible, but some are fun. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So, you said your first step was getting in this like Southern regional circuit.
Yes, Southern regional circuit. I got in with it's at Comedy House Theater, the Stardome, which is like one of the biggest clubs in America. It's like a 600-seat amphitheater.
Yeah,
it's insane. And then I got in with the Comedy House, started house emceeing. I'm not emceeing there. It had 4 clubs or 5 clubs, and I was emceeing 2 weeks at a time at each of the clubs around town. So I do Augusta, then we moved down to Savannah, Columbia, Ocala, Florida, and somewhere else I can't remember, I think. Yeah, but I do all those. So, I'm going for like 2 months, 3 months on that run alone, making like $250 a week.
See, I think the comedy tour sounds cool to me because with music, you're in town maybe for like an hour or two. You play, you get up the next morning, and you're done. No,
we still have one-nighters. We have one-nighters, so yeah. My actual first road gig was with this comic. We drove from Memphis. I drove him from Memphis to Charleston, West Virginia, and played a gig. And the hotel was horrible. It was called the Plantation Inn. And it was me and this other black comic, and his episode of Def Jam was airing that night. And this is how dumb these people were. This guy's like, I don't know how you gonna make it to New York. We ain't got no planes leaving now. And we both just looked at each other. We were like, we got to get out of here right now. We got to get out of here right now. That man thinks you need to fly to New York. We got to go. I can't be a part of this. I couldn't be a part of that. Yeah, no, we have one-nighters too. It's like the Comedy Zone chain, because it is chain. It's a chain, and that's how they work mostly. It's like a bunch of one-nighters, and it ends up in a decent weekend. You'll be doing every little hell gig you could possibly do, and then end up in like, hey, look, I'm in Charlotte for the rest of the weekend. Yay! But after dealing with places I can't even name in South Carolina, and just horrible little places, just horrible small towns.
It always seemed like cool to me. I always hear comedians talk about, they go to the club and they get put up in the club's little apartment for the weekend.
Oh, some of those are so bad. There was one in Austin. There was one in Fort Worth.
Maybe I'm a romantic.
You are romantic.
We don't get apartments in music.
Oh, you are definitely romantic because you don't understand some of the crap I have stayed in. You don't understand. There used to be a hotel. There used to be a gig in Columbus, Georgia, that was so bad. The gig itself was great. It's a place, I don't care, I'm talking about a place called The Loft. The club is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Upstairs, they spent millions of dollars. It's a music venue. It's great. But the same guy owns the hotel he puts the comics in. Dude, I have slept in my clothes on top of everything, so I didn't have to touch the actual sheets. One time I went in there to take a shower, and the sink fell off the wall. You could hear it. I mean, it's just lined with hookers. And then you'd hear, and you just lock the door and you have to lock the door and put the desk in front of the door to block you, and you hear the horrors doing the soldiers next door in the room, because it was just, the one place you were mad at saying this stuff. I'll tell you the truth. The one place there's one club, I'm not gonna name him, that was in Fort Worth, Texas, that me and my friend stayed at, and there was a roach that someone had died on the wall. And someone had just shellacked that bitch on the wall, so it was like a permanent fixture of the comedy condo. Just a roach just sitting right there. And I'm just like, ew.
Oh, Lord of mercy.
Yeah.
And not a good roach.
Not a good roach. Not something you smoke. Just a big, fat, nasty, hello, how are you? This roach, this big, hey. And he was just shellacked. He was like, come on, help me move. I need to move.
Jurassic roach.
Dude, yes.
Encased in amber.
Encased in hairspray, I think it was. Somebody just sprayed that bitch down and it was.
So you told me before we started that you have 6 or 7 albums?
Yeah, 7. The six that you actually you can only buy Yeah, you only can buy like 6 of them right now. Because the very first one, which I did called the Mo Files, you can't get anymore. I lost that master copy of it. I lost that one. But yeah, the newest one, Mo Possum Blues, is the first one on stand-up records. Everything else was independently produced by my own thing I used to do called 1800 Records.
Oh, that's cool. How did you get with stand-up records?
Very weird thing. I was at the Altercation Comedy Festival in Austin, Texas, my first year. I did that. And the guy who ran that festival, J.T. Habersat, was on the same label, stand-up. So he introduced me and the owner, Dan. He was like, you guys will get along. And so we went outside talking. He was like, so, I see you already produce your own albums. Why you need me? And I was like, I really don't. And it just shut him down for a second. He was like, I like you. And I was like, yeah, I like you too. Let's hang out. And we just bonded over just being weird people together. And now he's like one of my best friends out there. I call him my Rick Rubin.
Has that helped you a lot to be on stand-up? I mean, has that exposed you to a new audience?
You know what? It's actually, what has happened to me, it got me some really cool things, because we recorded the album Mo Possum Blues inside of Sun Studio. I don't know if you knew that.
No.
Yeah, I'm the only comic to ever record an album in Sun Studio. Ever. We did it live. It wasn't like I did something. We did it live. We moved everything out of Sun Studio, brought in like 50 or 60 people, audience members.
Man, when did you do this?
Jared Callen was one of the crew that recorded the whole video thing.
Oh man.
Yeah, we did this in 2019, 2020, something like that. Right before pandemic.
It was before I moved back from Chicago.
Okay, yeah, and we did that. We recorded. I'm the first and when he said he was going to get me on, we were going to do that day. I was like, yeah, whatever. They're not going to let me in that building. I'm known in this city. And then it wasn't real to me until I walked in the back, through the back door into the actual engineering booth. I'm just like, I shouldn't be in here, but I am. And yeah.
That's super cool, man.
Yeah, it's awesome. It was awesome, man. It was an awesome weekend. Seriously.
How important is releasing an album to a comedian? Like, I know, like, as far as a musician, it's like crucial to like the cycle. But I mean,
it is crucial. It is crucial to us.
Some comedians just like put out one record and then just tour forever on it.
Yeah, and I never want to be that, because that just means you couldn't come up with anything else. I mean, either you're scared to record again, or that's all you had.
Well, I just wondered if maybe, like, in comedy, it wasn't as important to have a new album out, like, to continue the cycle. It
depends on what you want to do. I mean, you can be a great headliner and tour across the country. And
because having an album is usually the impetus for making a band tour, whereas I feel like it's almost in reverse.
It is in reverse.
Comedians tour and then make an album at the end.
Yeah, it is. It is, because it's like, okay, I'm done with this material now. Let's put it on wax. Let's get it out. Now I got to write a whole new hour to figure out what I'm doing next.
Do you when you put it out on a record, do you retire it?
I did. I haven't done it yet. I'm working for the new hour currently right now. Pandemic screwed everything up.
Yeah.
And then I tell people, and people think it's a joke, that I did 378 Zoom shows, but it's not a joke. I seriously did over 300 shows in my house with a laptop, microphone, and no pants on. I never had pants. I had no pants on the whole time. I didn't have to wear pants. I was like, this is so great. So when I had to wear pants again, this is so weird. So, I'm like in front of you people. Now my balls are completely put together again. I don't want to be here.
Was it an adjustment getting used to an audience again?
A little bit, yeah. It wasn't. It didn't take long. It was like 2 shows. I'm like, oh yeah, okay, now I know what I'm doing again. This feels right. This feels good. But it was weird. It was weird doing. And I'm, you know me a little bit, but I'm kind of weird. And the Zoom shows mostly sucked, not because of the comics, just because of the way it had to be set up. So I'm like one of the few comics that would actually do crowd work to a Zoom crowd. Because when they had their cameras on, you could see them. I'm like, hey, what's going on you? You're right there. You with the weird nipple. What are you doing, dude? Talk to me. I had this one guy. I had one guy he was cool. I was like, where's your wife? She's over there playing a puzzle. Turn the camera on her. And she just looked at me like, what the fuck do you want? I'm like, it was great. It was great.
Did the pandemic inspire any new material, or?
Yeah, but nothing that I kept, nothing that I wanted to keep. It was just, it was in the moment comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just like, yeah, this is done with. I don't want to talk about this anymore because it was a time in our lives we all know about it. We all survived it.
Because a lot of comedians put out the pandemic material.
Yeah, I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to do that at all. I did. I when I first went back on the road, yeah, we did a couple of weeks of pandemic stuff. I'm like, ugh, get this away from me. I'm tired of it. I don't like it. So if I don't like it, I don't do it. So I'm weird. I'm very weird like that.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like, hey, you need to do. No, I don't. I don't have to do this joke. I'm very weird.
Are there jokes that you feel that you've? I mean, there are certainly songs I've kind of fallen out of love with that I've written.
Oh yeah, there's jokes that I fall in and out of love with all the time. It's just like somebody have to remind me of an old joke that I don't do anymore, and it's just like, why don't I do that joke anymore? It's so funny. It was great. Oh my god, what's going on? I gotta do that again, and then I'll bring it back for a couple of days just to have fun with it again and see if it's grown anywhere. Like there was a joke I wrote 8 years ago, and it never worked. Never worked until recently. Until Roe versus Wade happened. And now it kills. And now it destroys every night I do it. And sometimes it destroys 99% of the time. That 1%, it's the crowd I'm talking about. And they hate me for those 5 minutes. And I love it.
Do you want to tell the joke?
America has been lying to us for decades and hundreds of years, really. They always tell us our we are America, woohoo! We love apple pie, baseball. First of all, fuck baseball. Second of all, I prefer peach cobbler. They lie to I do. But they've been lying to America's favorite pastime. You know what it is? Wars. We love wars. You know our favorite kind of wars? The wars on inanimate objects, the war on drugs, the war on poverty, the war on women. See, as a comic, that was a joke because I would never insinuate that a woman was an inanimate object. That would make me a Republican. And yeah, I was doing when that joke first came back. I was doing it in Denver, and it crushed every single night.
I could see how that joke has extra teeth now.
Yeah. It never worked at all beforehand, and then suddenly it just started working. And I did it when I brought it back in Colorado, and it was just crushing every night. And then on the last leg of that thing, we were in Little Rock doing the Little Rock Looney Bin because they still have a Looney Bin in Little Rock. And I did that first night, and it was just like crickets. And one dude walked out. I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot y'all are the people I'm talking about." Anyway, let's go. Yeah, that's who I am. I don't care. I'll punch buttons. I don't care.
Do you then try to win them back,
No.
or do you just say,
No, this is what I do. This is the old Mo Alexander right here.
Yeah.
20 minutes I would kill, okay? 20 minutes I'd make you hate me. 20 minutes later I'd be your god and you would not forget me ever again. That's the way I used to do my shows. That's the way I used to handle it. Because like, let's be friendly. Okay, let's go dark and fucking tell these stories. And then like, okay, let's go happy. Not happy, but let's go truthful and honest and let's just get weird. And yeah, that's the way I used to do it. I don't do as much 20-minute darkness now. It's sprinkled. It's more evenly sprinkled through the shows.
well, there's enough dark. Is that because there's so much chaos outside in the world?
Yes. And I have ADD really badly. In fact, I joke about it in my show. I call it AD. But, most comics have a word-for-word act that they have to do every night. And I can't do that. My friend Stan Chen, he makes me so mad. I love him so much because he has every beat down perfect every night.
I see some dudes, they practice.
Yes,
they hit the same pauses and everything.
I don't do that. I know I know what goes where and when what goes here, and I get some of those beats correctly every night. But other nights, things bore me, and we have to throw the show away and do something completely different. It's like, it's going to be like, we were in Pensacola last week, and this woman had her blouse, this was definitely a blouse, and because her boobs were actually like, someone had duct tape underneath her boobs, and they're just sitting there like titties. It was just right there, right there, and I'm like, she's 5 rows in, and that's the night I'm not on stage. I'm actually not on stage because I get bored of being on stage. Sometimes I'll sit on the stage right in front of everybody. I'm weird. I don't care. I get bored. I was like, can they see me if I do this? Lighting okay? Cool.
Is that for like a intimacy thing or?
Yeah, I guess so.
Gets the audience off guard?
Yes, but I honestly get bored. It's not a joke. I honestly get bored. And sometimes I don't want to be on stage if I don't like the stage. I mean, it was a big, huge stage. It was a great stage. The lighting at that club, they had too much red on. They had too much red lights. So the chick who went right before me, also a black person, she just looked weird in the red, and I didn't want to do that. So I was like, screw that, and just sat on the thing. And yes, it's for intimacy as well, because I actually learned that in Reno, Nevada. I was bored on stage, and there were maybe 50 people in the room to set 100 that night. It's the first night of the week. And I got bored and just walked off stage and actually sat on the table in the middle of the room. Just, crossed my legs, and I was like, all right, let's do it like this, people, and let's see what happens. And they're just like, what is wrong with you? I'm like, I don't know, we'll have to try something.
I've seen a lot of hardcore punk rock bands will do that. Like, they don't want to set up on the stage. They'll set up in front of the stage or beside the stage. It's kind of like a, there's no separation between the audience and the artist. I'm kind of a thing.
It's kind of like that. I don't have to be separated from the audience if I don't need to be. Let's see what interactions tonight can cause some material to pop out for later on. Like that woman I talked about, we called her titties. She reached out to me that Sunday night. She's like, no comic has ever made fun of me before. Can I hire you to come to do another show for me? I'm like, what do you mean? He was like, I have another venue right down the block. I want you to come. I'm a city council member. Really? Holy shit. Are you? I'm going to be killed. I know what's going to happen. What happened, Mo? Titties killed Mo. I'm like, sorry. But I like to experience new things, and if I don't have to be on stage and we can still have fun, why not?
Yeah.
I'm weird.
Well, before I let you go, there's one more thing I want to ask you about.
Yes, sir.
And that is your love for possums. How did you get started down the possum trail?
There's a horrible long story about being attacked by a possum, because it's a true story, because my house is being renovated. I have a 105-year-old house. It was being renovated, and one day, like 5 possums walked through our house, and we were just like, what the hell? And there's a whole incident about being attacked by a possum. But that's all this story. You'll hear that on the album.
Yeah. We don't want to blow the record.
You'll go to Mo Possum Blues on Stand Up Records, available on iTunes everywhere. In every place you can buy music.
Spotify, all those.
Yes. Screw Spotify. Don't pay me enough.
Yeah. Me either.
Yes, yeah. But, so what happened was, we had got the possum attack happened. Then Christmas Day, people think this is such stupidity, what I'm going to tell you, but I'm not making it up. Christmas Day, Chandra's one of my partners, and we were just sitting there high as hell, and this possum just walks up and stands on a box. And I'm like, I'm high right now. Do you see a possum? And she's like, yes, I do. And he's looking like he's giving a TED Talk, right? He's sitting there like, look, I'm sorry. We both made some mistakes the last time we saw each other. Let me apologize. And I need to talk to you about some shit, okay? And I'm just looking at him. He's just sitting there like, look, my son has knocked up this other possum. And she's got 14 babies and only 13 titties. I don't know if you know that, but possums have 13 nipples.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that? In a circle. It's really weird. But she has 14 possums and there's 13 nipples, so I need you to do me a favor. Right now we're rotating them in and out, but I need you to do me a favor and take over this possum. It's going to come here. I'll bring it over here in a few months. I'm like, what the? I'm like, whatever. I'm high as hell. A couple months later, this little possum shows up at my house. And Chandra's like, there's a possum in here. And I'm like, again? She's like, no, look at it. He's a baby. I'm like, holy crap, he's cute as fuck. And we were like, he's too small to be on his own. He can't be on his own. He's too small. So we tried to catch him and couldn't catch him for like a day or two. And then we found a bowl of Pancho cheese dip she had left out that had been licked clean. So I'm like, aha, now we know what to get him. Had a trap, put some Pancho cheese dip in there. Bam! We caught what we now have known as the OP, the original possum, Pancho possum, and we've been taking care of him for almost 3 years now, and he's like the most awesome little ambassador for people who don't like possums. We take him everywhere, and people are just like, I don't like possums. And they meet him like, I want a possum. Because he's awesome. He's a cool little dude. He's getting older now. He's almost 3. They don't, if you get a 4-year-old possum, you got an old-ass possum. Seriously.
Really?
They only last, in the wild, you get a 2-year-old, in the wild, if a possum lasts 2 years, he's doing great.
Yeah. I would think between predators and cars and everything.
Predators, cars, cold. They don't have little gloves on their feet. They're just little in the snow and stuff. It's so bothersome. So we have him. My friend Lloyd called us in July because she had her basement had flooded, and she had found 5 baby possums down there, and she brought them to us at like 4:00 in the morning because she knew we knew what to do. And then another guy, he was like, I can't take care of this possum anymore, Mo. I can't. I'm way too disabled. And she was, I was like, I can't do it, dude. And then he sent me a picture. I'm like, fuck. Fine, we'll come to Indianapolis and get your possum. We drove up there. So now I have Poncho, Zoe, and Abby. Those are my 3 possums. And they're the sweetest animals on the planet, honestly. Abby,
I've seen pictures of you cradling them, like little babies.
Abby, the brand new one, we got her. What? This is December. We got her. What, October or August? I don't remember. September. We got her in September. Abby is she's about 10 months old, 11 months old. The sweetest possum I've ever met in my life. She will use the steps on the side of my bed and climb up on my bed and go to sleep next to my head.
My cat won't even sleep in our bed.
She does that. She woke up this morning. She wakes up, pops me on the nose like, hi. And then just goes back down the steps and does her thing when she goes and hides somewhere. She's so weird. The one she's taking care of, Zoe, basically Zoe's her possum. Because when we found those 5 possums, we kept 2 of them. And we gave 3 to a rehabber friend of ours to take care of and release. And we lost one of them named Templeton. He didn't make it, and unfortunately, he was just a little. He was just a little mighty little dude. We were so upset with that one when he died. But we got a family portrait done the week before he died. So there's a picture of Templeton on her head while she's holding Zoe, and Poncho's on me like, I don't like pictures. And it's just a great picture. I'll show you the picture.
Yeah.
And
I'll post it with the episode.
Please do. That'd be so great.
Yeah.
And but it's the picture of Templeton. He's just up there looking like, hey, what's going on up there? And it's just an appropriate picture because he lived another week. And I love possums. I'm a possum advocate. I never truly understood the movie John Wick until all these possums came in my life. Because I'll tell you right now, I would John Wick a motherfucker over these possums. I swear to God. You understand me? I will come after your family, your grandkids, everybody. You fuck with my possums. That's not a joke. I will stab you in the eyeball with a spoon because it'll hurt more. Yeah, I did.
I think that's a solid note to end on. Mo, thank you so much for taking some time coming over here and hanging out at Shangri-La.
Thank you so much, brother, for having me on this. This is awesome. I really had fun.
It was really cool to talk to you.
Thank you, sir.